Hi, and welcome to another edition of Bauer Business Bites. My name is David Tighe. I'm the Managing Director of Bauer Media here in Northern Ireland. And each week we interview people from Northern Ireland who have a real interest and insight into the business world. And this week I'm delighted to welcome my guest. It's Roseann Kelly, who's the Chief Executive of Women in Business. Roseann, you're very welcome to Business Bites.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
It's our pleasure. Let's get straight into it. So, I'm assuming from the title of the organisation, I think I know what Women in Business is all about. But why don't you, as the CEO, enlighten us?
Okay, so Women in Business is a networking organization for business women right across all sectors. So we have 4,500 members, and they can be coming from a sole trader right up to chief executive of very large organizations. They're in all sectors. We are in the corporate sector, public sector, third sector, and we have a lot of female entrepreneurs as well. We've been going about 18 years now. We have different types of memberships for our members as well, from individual to corporate. We have also a young business women's network, which was launched recently, and we have our ambassadors who are huge supporters of the work that we do. In terms of women in business, I think one of the key things that people should know is that within our mission statement, we don't mention women at all. We're all about diversity. We're about creating a new economy, one built on inclusive growth. We support and encourage our members through a number of different methods, but mainly we have a schedule of events and we also have a number of programs. So we have conferences. We recently had a Voices of Leadership conference. We have a tech conference. We have a female entrepreneurs conference. And obviously we've had to swing them all online during this current challenging times. We have programs. We have a lot more programs now. In terms, we've I think 8. We have our Yes You Can, which is a female entrepreneurs program. We have a communications. We have leadership, resilience, digital. We have a mentoring program that has over 200 mentors on it. I think it's the longest running mentoring program in Northern Ireland. We have a maternity returners program, and we recently just launched a press refresh program, which is supported by the Department of the Economy and Belfast Met. So that's, I suppose, most of the work that we do to support our members and to try and create a new economy.
Wow, that's a fairly impressive roster of things that you're involved with there and the organisation. I'm sure that keeps everyone busy. So with your insight that you've got, what have been the main challenges specifically for women in business over this rather challenging period that we've just gone through?
Yes, I think for women, we have been impacted more than most. Starting firstly with the childcare issue. As soon as the schools closed and the crash facilities closed, then a lot of our female entrepreneurs found themselves unable to work on their business. A lot of our corporate women found themselves at home trying to work full time in front of the Zoom with children there as well, and also trying to homeschool. So that has all been very challenging. The other area, I suppose, is that most of the sectors that have been hit badly by by COVID are sectors where women are predominantly employed, such as retail and hospitality. And then the other areas is a lot of women are on the front line. So if you look at the nurses, the teachers and the carers, so they have been impacted quite a lot. But I suppose on the positive side, in the past, a lot of organizations would not have allowed people to work from home, would not have given that kind of flexibility. Whereas now I think the employers realize that working from home is a positive thing. And that I think in the future should help and support women who want to go back into the workplace. So hopefully that will end up being a positive.
That's good. That's good to hear. In terms of diversity and inclusivity, how do you think Northern Ireland fares with regards to specifically women and how they are represented and how they have got on and are getting on in business?
I'd have to say I don't think anywhere is great, but I think Northern Ireland were maybe slightly behind. We had our conference there last week, and we had a panel which was called the 2%, and that was the 2 women chief executives who are in the top 100 in Northern Ireland from the Ulster Business Report. So there's only 2 out of 100 here in Northern Ireland, and that's just not good enough. I remember when I first started looking at the top 100 every year, we had 6, so it's gone the wrong way. However, in the UK, I don't think it's much better. I think it's at 5%. And actually, I saw a stat there that said that actually there's more Peters than women. I think there's 6 Peter chief executives in the top 100 in the UK, and only 5 women in total. So not great. However, within the tech sector, I think our local companies here are doing better than the UK. The average there would be about 19%, and I think some of ours are in the mid-20s. So, it's a journey. There's a lot of work to be done, but it's really, really important that we get this right. And the technology sector is where it's going to be, and we need to have more and more women in that sector. I think one of the phrases that we have been using, Bauer has build back better. Well, we're saying you need to build back diverse.
Okay, that makes absolute sense. And in terms then of looking to the future, where do you think women have been? Where are they breaking through in terms of innovation? Are there any great stories that you can tell here that might give some inspiration to perhaps some of the younger female viewers who are coming through and who want to be that CEO of the future?
I don't think there's any one particular area. I think where women put themselves forward, they will achieve and they will deliver. And I think that it's really important that in all areas and whatever it is their ambition is, that they need to step forward and they need to be encouraged and supported to do that. And unfortunately, there can be unconscious bias. So this is where it's really important that young women do have mentors and support. And I suppose the other piece around that is, the majority of leadership positions, as we said, are filled by males. So we need our male colleagues. This issue is something for all of us. And we need male allies to also support and encourage and to look at criteria in terms of whether it's a female entrepreneur looking for funding, because at the moment women only get a penny in every pound, or whether it's the interview process or criteria. So I think for all young women, what I would say is that they should take that step forward. They should always ask, and they can do anything they want. It's there. I mean, it's delightful to see that we have a first ever vice president female of the United States of America. So it's all there.
Yeah, and of course there are 2 female leaders here in Northern Ireland as well. So that's good to see as well. Well, I suppose, look, I just wanted to say that from all of us here at Bauer Media Northern Ireland, we'll do our utmost to help promote diversity and inclusivity across the board. And it's absolutely our pleasure this week to speak with you and to give some promotion to the Women in Business organization. And it's been an absolute pleasure to get that insight from you, Roseann. And I would urge anyone who's watching this to make contact. The details will come up at the end. And I'm sure you'll welcome more interest with open arms.
Absolutely. It's my email that's there. So if anybody wants to get in touch with me directly, I'm more than happy to have a chat with anybody.
That's great. Well, Roseann, thanks for being our guest this week on Business Bites.
David, you're very welcome, and thank you for having me on.